Another day, another jungling flip-flop in terms of XRP. I have made a slight adjustment. We're going to go into why and what that is. People can say what they want. Look, I adjust as we go to the information I have. But before we get into that, I have an interesting story for you. I went to a comedy club last night. Well, I didn't do a video. And it was the comedian. He starred in this TV show, Black Jesus, on Adult Swim, maybe about a decade ago. Pretty funny comedian. But what was interesting was the opening, one of the opening acts, this female comedian. And she was going through all the problems in the world today, talking about, the United Healthcare CEO and Diddy and drones. And someone from the audience, they yell out, Trump. And you can imagine where this is going to go. A comedian in a Southern California comedy club, anytime they're talking about Trump, it ain't good. But that's not where she took it. She said, Are you kidding me? People are already making money, and he's not even in office, especially these crypto people. Now, at this point, I'm assuming she's going to talk about Bitcoin or Doge, maybe Ethereum, but probably not. Just Bitcoin and Doge are kind of the mainstream cryptos most people would talk about, the normies. But she doesn't go there. She says these XRP people are making all the money and they want to buy everything in XRP. And of course, the manner in which she's saying it is a lot funnier than I'm describing it to you. But she says XRP like 4 or 5 times, and it's the only crypto that she talks about, that she names. And the audience is laughing, and I'm like, do they even know what she's talking about here? This is wild. My wife's looking at me saying, I've never heard anyone in the real world talk about XRP. It shows we are going mainstream, and I don't think that people understand the first crypto bull run with direct US liquidity, what this is going to do. It's going to be wild. And for a comedian in a comedy club to hear the name Trump, and the first thing she thinks about cryptocurrencies and specifically XRP, I think it just shows you we are in a wildly different world. I'm excited what's going ahead of us here for XRP and this crypto bull run. Now, with that said, we've seen a little bit of a market sell-off. And the first thing that started it was really the Federal Reserve. Good old Jerome Powell got up there, and he said 2 things that kind of spooked everyone. Not just the crypto markets, it's also stock markets have looked ugly the last couple of days. But the first thing was he said we don't know what's going to happen, which we already know that. They can't tell the future. They probably don't know any more than us. But the second prediction, which I think is invalidated by the fact they admitted they don't know what's going to happen, was that they're only going to have 2 rate cuts next year. And so people are looking at, oh no, higher interest rates for longer, a more restrictive economic policy. And what I would tell you is if that actually happens, that means 2025 went pretty well because we didn't have any major disruptions in the job market, no banks cratered to nothing, no massive meltdowns in financial markets. Like if they can actually get through 2025 with 2 rate cuts, and I don't think that's going to happen, but if they do, things went pretty smoothly. So I think this is actually doesn't mean anything, in my opinion. But when someone asked me about it, I said, look, this is the reality. In my mind, we're going to hit, this first part of this bull run atop somewhere around March or April. And how we get there is no business of mine. I don't care if we go down, up, or up, down. There's going to be ups and downs along the ways. But it's where we're going. And I think if you're aiming for right around March or April, you're going to do very well. To see this first crescendo of this bull run. Usually we're going to hit a summer doldrums, typically. Maybe it's different this time, but I doubt it. Especially Tom Lee's talking about, about mid-year, we should have, some sell-offs there in traditional financial markets, just because you've seen what the market's done year after year. 20% gainer years for the S&P 500, we're due for a little bit of a pullback here. I wouldn't be surprised at all. I think that's the way it'll play out. We'll hit a market top for crypto as we're approaching the inauguration. The hype, the FOMO will continue pushing prices up, specifically XRP. And then, once we hit that crescendo, probably about mid-year throughout the summer, you'll see a sell-off. Fine. Give us some opportunity for the second part of this bull run. Now, what is my flip-flopping here? It's pretty straightforward. I've decided I'm going to sell 80% of my XRP, still a good amount of it, but I'm going to stock away 20% for the long term, just like I invest in Bitcoin and Ethereum. Just hold it over there, not touch it, just let it do what it does. For a couple reasons. First and foremost, when you look at the crypto market, I think they're going to break it down into sectors. And when you look at the currency coins, XRP, Bitcoin, those are at the top, and they are light years ahead of everything else. And so I don't think you want to sell out of the number 2 slot of, a sector, an important sector, the original sector of cryptocurrencies. And with XRP, you get that currency functionality plus you get smart contracts, all sorts of other stuff. So it has a lot of room to grow in the future. Second of all, someone shared some information with me. It's not insider information or anything like that, but it just shows that I think Ripple has some very serious business plans here in the future. I was very bullish on what I was reading and what I saw there. This is public information. Anyone can probably find it, but it's not mine to share. But it looks like coming out of this court case, they're going to really hit the accelerator here and do quite well. Now, I think if you're expecting the next $1 trillion Amazon type of thing, you're not even in the realm of reality. But still, I think it's going to be quite large, quite successful. And there's enough there for me also to go, you know what? They're doing it. They're getting after it. They're shaking things up. And, I think they're going to have some success. So for the first time in a long time, I'm not just excited about XRP and what it's going to do this bull run, but also the future of Ripple. I think they are going to hit the right areas. And when you look at coming into this time in cryptocurrencies, my major gripes about the XRP ledger was no AMMs, no stable coin of note, no programmability. They've either fixed all of those things or they are fixing it. There's some other stuff that needs to be addressed, but we've come a long ways in a short amount of time. And I think me thinking I know everything and I'm just going to exit is a dire mistake. Just in cryptocurrencies, if you have, you break this down into sectors, currencies, smart contract blockchains, DeFi, you go down the list, just like you build out any portfolio. I don't think you just want to have one in any sector. If you have two leaders, I think you want to hold some of that for the long term. So, sorry, that's my flip flop. That's the way I'm going to approach it. Let me know what you think down below. As always, please like, please subscribe. The revolution will be televised right here on Jungle Link.